I've realized I have a tendency to turn every trip into a challenge. How much can I see? How much can I experience? How much can I fit into this trip before I have to go home? And somewhere along the way, I started questioning myself, wondering, am I actually enjoying these places and getting an experience out of them, or am I just collecting them? So I went to Montreal and with no other real plan other than just to experience and enjoy Montreal, and whatever happened, happened. When I got to Montreal and settled into my hotel, I decided to just start walking. I ended up walking upon these very cute shops in Old Montreal. There were so many of them. I ended up buying these beautiful Inuit handmade earrings, which I absolutely adore. And then I also ended up buying these earmuffs that were also handmade. I was not thinking that I was going to end up needing any of these things, like the earmuffs and my big jacket, but it was much colder in Montreal than I was expecting. Much colder. When you think of Old Montreal, you think of, or just Montreal in general, you think of French food in France. However, there was a large majority of Asian cuisine here, which I personally really enjoyed. Don't get me wrong, I love French food, but I am a sucker for Asian food. And the coffee shops. As many of you know, and some of you may not, I am obsessed with coffee. I love coffee, and of course, I ended up having to find a coffee shop. Found this one called Crew Collective. And when you walk into Crew Collective, it is just so massive and just full of beauty that it just makes you stop and really appreciate the craftsmanship behind it. And then you walk over to get some amazing coffee. I did end up sitting here for a while and just kind of taking it all in, enjoying my coffee, enjoying my scone. Diving into just letting things happen, I will say because I didn't have a to-do list like I normally do, I decided to go home or go to my hotel and take a nap. It was raining, I was really tired from my flight, and it was just very cold, something I was not used to at the moment from being in Florida and then going to Montreal. So a nap was very much a necessity. I remember thinking things like this would typically stress me out, that I would have the need and want and feel that I need to get as much done as possible. I need to go see as many things as possible. But this time, with the intention set that I'm not going to be go, go, go the entire time, I didn't feel that way, which was nice. Fast forward, I ended up going to dinner, of course, big foodie here. Ended up going to this beautiful place called Damas. And it was just one of those meals, and the entire experience just felt right. It was Middle Eastern food, and it was just one of those meals that just felt so right. The entire experience, everything was lovely. The food was delicious. I'm a sucker for Middle Eastern food, so this place had me sold. Not the type of place that you're rushing, you're just sitting in, you're enjoying not only your own experience, but if you just sit back for a moment, you're realizing how many other different people are having their own little experiences and living their own life. I think what I liked the most out of Damas was the waitress. She was quite friendly and very sweet and very easy to talk to, along with a couple other of the waiters. I'm really not social unless I'm traveling, by the way. Anyways, she ended up telling me about this place that she works at outside of Damas, and it was a listening bar slash vinyl bar, which is totally up my alley. Anyways, she ended up getting me on the guest list to go there that night, and of course I did have to do everything for the plot. It was magnificent. It was everything that I was really needing. And I did not get any footage here. The reason being, one, I was just present in the moment, and two, something that I feel like doesn't typically happen, especially in the States. I don't know if it's Canada. I don't know if it was Montreal. I don't know if it was just this vinyl bar, but nobody was on their phones. So I walk in, and it's very tiny. First of all, you go down these steps. It's like you're going into a cellar, basically. You pull back a curtain, and then everything just comes alive. The bar is right there to the left. You have a bunch of people dancing. You can barely hear anybody, but the bartenders are dancing. They're smiling. They're having a good time. They're making their drinks. Everybody else is actually dancing. Very low, moody, dimly lit. There's a little bit of fog everywhere. And then you have the DJ playing vinyls, which I truly enjoyed. And it really made me appreciate how nobody was on their phone. Everybody was actually dancing and experiencing and just being social with one another. I ended up meeting these two, it was actually like a group, but mostly talking to two of these girls from Montreal. Super sweet, super kind. We ended up dancing all night. Peak experience. Now, after all of that, the next morning I decided to really slow it down. I ended up going to this spa. I ended up going to this spa called Bota Bota. Bota Bota is this house spa on the water. And so you're walking up, freezing cold, in your big trench coat with your beanie and your mittens and earmuffs, and then you walk in and you just get straight down to your skivvies. But inside is quite warm. It has a magnificent view. Another place that I didn't get a lot of content except for the outside of it because it was a very strict no phone place, which again, I really enjoyed that. This also was not planned. I just ended up booking it the same night that I got in. I think the universe just knew that this weekend needed to be very mindful. Everything was collaborating with me, let's just say. But Bota Bota was stunning. They even had a little restaurant inside that you sit and everything is glass walls around you and you just look out into the water. And there was many times that I realized I was chatting and talking and I wanted to look something up or explain something in more detail, but using my phone. And obviously I could not because it wasn't even with me. So that also made me realize how much I am just attached to it and how I need to feel a little bit more secure when I have my phone around me, or how I do. Anyways. Then I ended up realizing there was tickets to a RAYE concert. I am obsessed with RAYE. I love her. I love her music. I had a feeling her concert was going to be great, but I didn't realize. Firstly, it takes me forever to get ready, just so you know. Mostly because I'm listening to music like hers. I was on time for the first time ever, but then I ended up being late because I went to the wrong location. There are two stadiums named very close to the same thing. I was not the only one who made the mistake, so I don't feel too bad. Anyways, I finally get there. I didn't really miss much. The opener to RAYE's concert was her sister. Beautiful girl, amazing voice. Definitely has her own style, which was really cool. Her name was Absolutely. And RAYE's concert was just so transformative and so intentional. Every aspect was just, it was very well curated. And I feel like it hit so many different genres within the concert as well, which was really cool. I love something with a lot of intention behind it, so 10 out of 10 to RAYE. It ended up being the best concert I've ever been to. The energy was just absolutely unreal from everybody. And just the whole experience, I'll never forget. Best concert ever. Now I am back in the coffee shop that I first went to, Crew Collective. I loved it so much, and there was just so much to it with the co-working space and the architecture. The energy was unreal in here, so of course I needed to work a few hours before my flight. That felt more natural to me, being a little bit more on a schedule and needing to feel productive in a way almost. But at least I was doing it in a very beautiful coffee shop. Being able to live a little and experience so many things and then build at the same time is something I'll forever be grateful for. And that feels a lot more like balance to me. I think we wait for things to feel bigger than they need to be. Like it has to be a big trip or a perfect plan or something really has to matter. But really, most of the time, it's just a few small decisions. To go somewhere, to walk a little longer, to say yes to something, and suddenly your life feels different. Not because everything changed, but because you were actually there for it in the moment, not just completing a checklist. As much as I love a big grand adventure with many things inside of it, maybe maximizing a weekend isn't about all of the things that you can fit into it. Maybe it's about maximizing the moments that are already there. But until our next adventure, guys.